place? Professor Oubier's house.
Looks pretty creepy. I'd been away from Paris and hadn't seen Nico for nearly 6 months. I wanted to celebrate our reunion, but she had other plans. An appointment with an archaeologist. Something to do with a Mayan stone she came across while researching a story. The guy who answered the door didn't look much like an archaeologist to me. I had a bad feeling about this. Only 3 things I didn't like about spiders. The way they looked, the way they moved, and the fact that they lived on the same planet as me. This spider was big, mean, and hairy, and definitely not a native of Europe. I glanced over the books, vaguely hoping to find a copy of How to Deal with Poisonous Spiders While Tied to a Chair. No such luck. But I noticed one corner of the bookcase was supported by a loose block of wood. I thought that I ought to free myself before examining the furniture. The block of wood had been used to replace the original foot of the bookcase. Maybe I'd been a little heavy-handed, but it was a question of survival. Of course, I was still tied to a chair in a burning house with no means of escape. The bookcase had been anchored to the wall by a protruding metal bracket. It had sheared off as the bookcase had fallen, leaving a jagged edge. Mighty bound, our hero was free. Now, I had to deal with that fire. It was the chair I'd been tied to. I had no time to sit around. I had no further use for the bracket. The projecting bracket had served its purpose. There was nothing else I could do with it. The rope was shredded and no possible use to me. The rope was shredded and no possible use to me. Even if I had the time, I wouldn't be able to get to the books beneath the heavy case. The bookcase had fallen on its front, making it impossible to reach the books inside. Yellow pus was seeping from below the bookcase. That spider was very squashed. I wasn't touching that spider goo. Oubier and his wife, I guess. Nice couple. The bureau had a sliding lid. Inside, I found a bottle of tequila. It was a half bottle of extra strong Mexican tequila. Just what I needed under the circumstances. Normally, I didn't drink strong spirits, but today was far from normal. Ew. Disgusting. Not only did the tequila burn like hell, I just managed to stop myself from swallowing the worm. It was a half bottle of tequila. I'd drunk enough of that. The bureau contained Professor Oubier's tequila. It was a closed drawer. In the drawer was a small decorated pot. What looked like a little shriveled wiener lay on the carpet. Thankfully, it was only the worm from the tequila bottle. Well, I wasn't going to eat it, but life had taught me one thing. No matter how unlikely it seems, the strangest objects have their uses. Even tequila worms. It was that itsy-bitsy tequila worm. I really must remember to take it out of my pants before I send them to the laundry. The pot contained a key. The red and yellow pot had black decorative markings shaped like hands. Weird mutant hands, that is. It was a needle-sharp dart with a flight of green and yellow feathers. That dart was sharper than a mosquito's business end, but this didn't deter me from getting it anyway. It was Nico's bag. It was a stylish little canvas number containing a lipstick, a handwritten note, and a pair of nylon panties with a large love heart emblazoned across the front. It occurred to me that Nico's tastes must have really changed while I was away. Well, they could be useful. I'd already ransacked Nico's handbag, and besides which, the color didn't suit me. It was the box that spider had crawled from. I wasn't going to touch the box after that spider had been inside it. The fire had taken hold and ignited part of the polished wooden floorboards. I racked my brains to think of a way to improvise a fire extinguisher. If only I'd stopped for a coffee at the airport. It was a soda fountain, perfect for mixing with drinks or squirting at clowns. There was no pressure in the siphon. I guess it was out of gas. In the cabinet's wooden door was a very small keyhole. It was the poisoned dart which had stunned Nico. I'd never known anything keep her quiet so effectively. It was Nico's lipstick. It wasn't my color, and it reminded me of clowns. I guess I had no business reading the note, but I figured it might give me a clue to what Nico was involved in. It was from André, the history student Nico had known at college. The letter was sentimental mush, and revealed that the exotic lingerie, as he called it, was a gift from him. It gave his telephone number. Labino figured himself as a rival for Nico's affections, but I couldn't believe that that creep was in the running. It looked like a house key. It was a pair of red, lace-trimmed panties decorated with a large black satin heart. As I released the lock, something blew the doors open. Inside the cabinet was a small metal object, round at one end with a valve at the other. The cabinet was already open. It was a small metal cylinder. That cylinder was hot. I couldn't pick it up with my bare hands. The panties I'd found in Nico's bag were just what I needed to wrap around the hot cylinder. It was a small metal cylinder with a valve at one end. The cylinder gave out a faint hiss as the valve opened. What? Now I had one primed up and ready to use extinguisher. With a well-aimed squirt of his soda fountain, our unshakable hero saved the day. Now it was time to start looking for Nico. The door blocked my only means of escape. The bars attached to the window would prevent anyone getting in. They also stopped me from getting out. This window had bars too. The room was a prison. I wasn't going to get through those sturdy bars. I wasn't going to get through those sturdy bars. I wasn't going to burn myself on that red-hot doorknob, and it wasn't the time for subtlety. The front door was made of hard wood, supported by a sturdy frame. The door was locked. I didn't fancy my chances of kicking this door down. I unlocked the door. Without a plan, I had nowhere to go. Maybe there was something in the house which would give me a clue where Nico had been taken. It was a folded clipping taken from a newspaper. I'd found a piece of newspaper folded in two. It referred to a forthcoming eclipse of the sun. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be visible from Europe. The best place to view the eclipse would be Mexico. The door led to some other part of Oubier's mansion. It was locked. The house key didn't fit this lock. It was the newspaper clipping referring to the imminent eclipse. Wrapped inside it was another small piece of paper. It was a bank statement for Oubier's account from an automatic telling machine. The last 5 withdrawals were for large amounts, and all made in Marseille. It was Oubier's bank statement. Much as I disliked him, Labano might be my only hope of finding Nico. Hi, André?
Who is this?
It's George Stobart, Nico's boyfriend.
Don't you mean ex-boyfriend?
Look, I didn't call you just to pick a fight. I need to talk to you about Nico.
Can't you accept she's just not interested in you?
Listen, André, we need to talk. Nico's life depends on it.
Okay. You remember the cafe at Montfaucon?
Sure. André? You'd better show, you creep. I felt an irrational urge to wipe my ear. I wasn't looking forward to meeting Labino again, but he was my only link with Nico. There was no sign of Labino when I got to the cafe. I decided to order a coffee and wait for him. I had no desire to go down into the sewers. I had no desire to go down into the sewers. The man at the next table looked somehow familiar. It was a small silver flask from which the man was topping up his glass. It was too hot to sit inside the cafe. Besides, I might miss Labino. The waiter's stained and crumpled clothes looked as if they'd been slept in. I decided not to bother with a meal. Pardon me, but don't I know you?
Huh?
You were here the day I found the catacombs.
I was? Ah, yes. I remember you.
Yeah. Are you still in the police force?
No, not anymore. I'm a man of leisure. And what brings you back to Paris?
My girlfriend.
What it is to be young and in love. Will you share a bottle of wine with me?
Hey, listen, I'd love to, but I need to keep a clear head.
So my company isn't good enough for you.
Why did you leave the police?
I was forced to retire. The golden handshake. Only in my case, it was more copper than gold.
How come?
I was made a scapegoat to cover up the department's inefficiencies.
Have you ever heard of a Professor Oubier?
No, monsieur. I don't recall the name.
Well, apparently he's an expert on Mayan art and history.
A little out of my field of experience, monsieur. If he'd been a serial killer or a sodomite, I might have been able to help.
Garçon. He ignored me. I'm sure it was deliberate. What's that you're drinking?
It's wine.
What do you make of this dart?
I remember a case where the victim was killed with just such a device. The poison acted in seconds, causing his body to swell up like an inflatable life raft.
What do you make of this news cutting?
Orphanage supplied fast food chain?
No, it's the article above that.
Oh! Total eclipse of the sun. Well, that's very dull in comparison. I don't know anything about eclipses.
Tell me what you make of this note.
From my years of experience, I gained a pretty good insight into handwriting. I'd say that note was written by a compulsive, obsessive type with an Oedipus complex.
Hey, you got just about everything apart from the ponytail. I couldn't snatch the man's flask while he was looking. Hey, you.
What?
I'd like a cup of coffee if you don't mind.
When I finish serving this gentleman.